flies right out of my pants. Don't you know I got a little secret? It's the ace of hearts up my sleeve. And when I get home to my honey, she give me love like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. When I'm walking through my neighborhood, everybody knows I'm feeling good. See me smiling from my head to my feet. They say, ain't that Mr. Lucky coming down the street? Hey, that's me. I'm Mr. Lucky when you kiss my lips, when you touch me with your fingertips. I'm Mr. Lucky when you hold me tight. I'm Mr. Lucky when we kiss goodnight. Baby, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. You know that's right. Baby, 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 baby.
Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your Friday night, baby? Friday. I'm finally free. Yeah. Hey, tonight I'm going to tell you in very, very general terms about the Friday the 13th movie franchise. Very general. Because that's like, you could do a whole week just on that one topic. But let's see. Red Wild Bill says, Tom, you're not wearing this shirt. I have mine on. Well, my No Lives Matter shirt is in the laundry. So, speaking of shirts, however, I would like to direct your attention to this shirt. Now, note the collar of this shirt. In case you guys haven't noticed, I wear a lot of really old t-shirts. I mean, we're talking over 30-year-old t-shirts now. Now, this shirt is the t-shirt from, I'll go ahead and say, the second big talk show that I had. And this one here, it was called The Show. That was the name of the show. It was called The Show. And here's the logo. It's kind of a cool logo and shirt. This was in 1994 or 5. So we're looking at a 30-year-old t-shirt right here. 30 years old. All right? 30. Look at the collar. Isn't it a regular t-shirt collar after 30 years? Why on earth can Stuttering John wear a shirt once and the collar is destroyed forever and ever? And meanwhile, I have 30-plus-year-old. Just saying. And I kind of want to know why. And somebody please tell me why. How can he do that? I've never seen that level of destruction. It's like, how do you even do that? Let's see here. Reverend Wild Bill says, second big talk show you were on, so that would have been last year or the year before. Rumple Trench. I was on a 50,000 watt FM station. Rumple Trenchcoat says, the collar didn't get stretched and mangled 10 minutes after wearing it? No, as a matter of fact. It's got stuff on the back of it, too. Let me see if I can. That's the wrong way. Anyway, you don't get to see that. There's stuff on the back. Uh-oh, there we go. Hey, by the way, and I'm pretty sure let me just show you. Reverend Wild Bill will know what the significance of the background is. Hold on a second, because I'm going to scoot out of the way so I can show you the whole background. See? Let me see here. It's the liquid he uses out of his body that destroys the collar. That might be it, man. Reverend Wild Bill says, Tom has been in the talk show and radio for a long time now. And Reverend Wild Bill says, Camp Crystal Lake. Karen Garvey quite accurately says, it's the lake from Friday the 13th movie. Yes, Karen Garvey. Uncle Jack is here from Uncle Jack's Jack Shack. I understand he had Granny on the other night. Yeah, check out Uncle Jack's Jack Shack when you get a chance. He says hit like. Oh, yes, please do all those things. Like, share, subscribe, notification bell, retweet. All of those things that are free for the almighty algorithm. The almighty. And we also have super chats, and we also have memberships. Please turn on your gifted memberships. People do occasionally gift memberships around here, and you can get a free membership. And then, of course, we have a goal that we want to reach every night, which is any amount of money. Sometimes we get a lot. Sometimes we get 99 cents. It's kind of like a game show that only we are playing. All right, let's see here. Karen Garvey says, Rev, you know the name of the lake. Well, he nailed it immediately. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet. It's verified by independent sources. Randy Ramos, the chef himself, is in the house. Yes, Uncle Jack is in the house. Rumple Trenchcoat says, I like the theory that the shirt's collars are trying to get as far away from John as possible. Doing anything they can. Yeah. Chef is in the house. Reverend Wild Bill says, was about to jump ahead of Tom on info. I'll be quiet. I haven't even started. Jump ahead of me. Uncle Jack says, doopa-doopa-doo. Hey now, thank you for chatting us up last night. I just chatted you up just now. Hey, you know what else, Wild Bill? I even threw it your way on the background. The goal. Yes, we have the goal of any amount of money whatsoever. And Juan Bill says, I know nothing about Jason Voorhees. Well, it's tough to know stuff about Jason Voorhees because there's canon Jason Voorhees, and then there's all the offshoots and some of the books and the comics, and a lot of stuff out there. People saying hi and people saying hi. Manzanita's Soul, backed up by Baja Blast Mountain Dew. Let me tell you something. Tom Gully Girl Show, thank you for chatting us up. You're welcome. I didn't really expect any thanks. That's what made it such a beautiful gesture on my part. Rumble Trenchcoat says, hey, dude, you know, I have all the movies, even the remakes. I'll bet you do. Julian Caesar says, John takes his shirts off over his hips instead of over his head. You know, it's a well-publicized fact that I get all my groceries on Saturday morning. And tomorrow morning, I will get up at 5:45, jump in the Jag, drive over to Walmart, get all my groceries, drive back home, unbox and package the groceries, take out the trash, and be back in bed by about 7 o'clock. Last week, I was in an effort to pare down some of the over snacking I've been doing lately. I got less stuff. And I have to tell you that I planned it out so that it's like I ran out of really good entrees the night before last. Oh, I had stuff here to eat. Don't get me wrong. But that I liked. So now I'm starving and can't wait to go to the grocery store at 6 in the morning tomorrow. Everyone else says, oh boy, Wally World. Park's closed. Moose out front should have told you. Uncle Jack says, I won't be up by 7 a.m. 100%. 100%. Oh, I'll be up before 5:45. It's just 5:45 means I can jump in the shower real fast and then just throw some crap clothes on and drive on over there in the Jaguar. Now, Reverend Wild Bill gets some Wolf Brand chili. I actually have already 5 or 6 cans of Wolf Brand no bean chili here. I just didn't want to eat stuff out of cans, and I don't know, I was being a weenie. Uncle Jack's saying hi to Julian Caesar. Yes, Reverend Wild Bill. The no beans. Wolf, no beans. You got to get the no bean Wolf Brand chili. God, it's good stuff. And you know what else I have here? I've never tried it, is that it's Black Angus beef. It's the Yellowstone from the TV show Yellowstone kind of thing, that Bar Y thing. It's Yellowstone brand chili. I haven't tried it yet. I read some reviews. I heard it was good. Let's see here. Franchise. This is about the franchise. I'm going to center on the movies, but I will mention other parts of the franchise. Reverend Wild Bill said, I tried the Yellowstone chili. Let me know what you think, sir. Why don't you let me know what you think before I eat that crap? Give me a heads up, dude. Sorry, I enjoyed that a little too much. All right, Friday the 13th. By the way, that is Camp Crystal Lake. It's Crystal Lake behind me there. Very much behind me there. I will periodically throughout this program be going just to make you look over your shoulder. So I'll stay with Wolf Brand. Well, you know, I don't think anything's going to top Wolf Brand, but it's nice sometimes to, you know, for instance, that chili might make a better base for something because Wolf Brand has such a distinct taste. Anyway, you eat chili? I thought you didn't eat stuff that looked like vomit. I eat chili. I have never seen one movie of the Friday the 13th franchise. You're missing out, Randy. It's Crystal Lake, but the sign says Camp Crystal Lake. Yes. Tyler Schollenberger says, meeting Kane Hodder from the later entries in the franchise multiple times and him remembering me is one of my favorite Friday the 13th related memories. I will say this, all the various Jasons and many of the actual, let's just say, victims or what we call final girls, with the Friday the 13th franchise, man, they're all really friendly at all the cons. They're just good people. You know, you can tell they kind of like being there and they like the fans' enthusiasm. They're not, some of the people at those cons are just like, yeah, I was in that movie. Here, bye. Give me $25. You know what I mean? The Friday the 13th people aren't that way. The Reverend Wild Bill says, and it was filmed at 3 different lakes, depending on the timeline. Who was the killer in the first movie? Oh boy, that's one of the, you know, you make a lot of money in bars asking who the killer was in the first Friday the 13th movie. Because anyway, Friday the 13th is an American horror franchise that comprises 12 slasher films. Let's not get into remakes and different. Let's just go with what they have here, because I know that's a thing too. 12 slasher films, a television series, novels, comic books, video games, and other tie-in merchandise. The franchise mainly focuses on the fictional character of Jason Voorhees, who was thought to have drowned as a boy at Camp Crystal Lake due to the negligence of the very horny camp staff. Decades later, the lake is rumored to be cursed and is the setting for a series of mass murders. Jason is featured in all of the films as either the killer or the motivation for the killings. The original film was written by Victor Miller, produced and directed by Sean S. Cunningham, released by Paramount Pictures, and let me tell you something, Daddy-O. Those movies have grossed over $468 million at the box office, and that's not economy adjusted. So, although the films were not popular with critics, Friday the 13th is considered one of the most successful media franchises in America, not only for the success of the films, but because of the extensive merchandising and repeated references to the series in popular culture. Jason's hockey mask has become one of the most recognizable images in horror and in popular culture. First Friday the 13th movie was released on May 9th, 1980. Second one was released just less than a year later. The third one was about a year later. And then the fourth one was about a year later. And the fifth one was about a year later. And the sixth one was about a year later. And the seventh one was about 2 years later, and the eighth one was about a year later. And then we started getting 4 years, 10 years, 1 year, 6 years. Anyway, any old way. Yeah. You know, so in the original Friday the 13th, this is about to be a spoiler for you, Randy, so earmuffs. Mrs. Pamela Voorhees stalks and murders the teenagers that are preparing Camp Crystal Lake for reopening, and she is determined to ensure that the camp does not reopen after her son Jason drowned in the lake due to the negligence of 2 staff members. Yes. And she gets decapitated. And Friday the 13th Part 2, Jason's alive and fully grown. The first thing he does is goes and kills the chick that, you know, chopped his mom's head off. And then he goes back to Camp Crystal Lake to guard it from all intruders 5 years later. Yeah. Yeah. Kills much more teenagers. Now, in Friday the 13th, Part 3, the machete that was embedded in Jason is removed, And Jason kills anybody who comes into the barn. And that's when he takes the hockey mask from a victim to hide his face and gets his hockey mask. He didn't always have the hockey mask. In the 4th edition, which is called The Final Chapter, which is kind of funny, Jason is found by the police and taken to a local morgue. And he wakes up there and he kills the coroner and the nurse and then a bunch more teenagers. Corey Feldman's in that one, by the way. And by the way, ultimately, Corey Feldman kills Jason in that one. Now, because we had the final chapter, it only makes sense that the next edition was called A New Beginning, where the grown-up Corey Feldman was committed to a mental institution and was afraid that Jason would return. And so it's kind of a copycat killer plot there, but Jason didn't like it that there was a copycat, so yeah. Part 6, Jason Lives. Tommy visits Jason's grave after being released from another mental institution, and he inadvertently resurrects Jason with a piece of the fence, acting like a lightning rod. Immediately, Jason heads back to Crystal Lake and kills the people working at the new summer camp, and Tommy eventually ties Jason to a boulder, tosses him into a lake. But Jason's still alive for part 7, The New Blood. And, he's resurrected by a telekinetic chick. It's a long story. She made her dad die in a lake when she was, he's just resurrected. Okay? And then he has a psychic battle with this chick. And then in part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, my least favorite Friday the 13th movie. He follows a bunch of kids on their senior class trip to Manhattan, and he kills a bunch of people there, including a boxer, which is the worst Jason killing of them all. They flood a sewer with toxic waste to kill him. Jason goes to hell the final Friday, so they said. Jason, through an unexplained resurrection, is hunted by the FBI at Camp Crystal Lake, and they successfully kill him. And he passes his black heart from one being to the next. He has a sister and a niece, and he needs them to get his body back, and he resurrects himself, but his niece stabs him with a mystical dagger, and he's dragged into hell. Jason X takes place in the future, where Jason has, once again, they can't get enough of resurrecting old Jason. That guy gets resurrected a lot, They decide that cryonic suspension is the only method of stopping him, but Jason breaks free and kills a whole bunch of people before he can be imprisoned again. And the problem with that one is Jason is killed, but then he gets resurrected with nanomedical technology and comes back as a cyborg version of himself. That one's got one of my most can't really watch the whole thing kills in all of the Friday the 13th franchise. And it's the one where the hot chick gets her face put in the liquid whatever, liquid hydrogen, liquid whatever, and it freezes solid instantly, her face, and then he smashes it like ice on the edge of the table. Oh, that's a bad one. The next Friday the 13th film, Freddy vs. Jason, obviously a crossover. In 2009, it's just called Friday the 13th again, and they kind of started over. It's dumb. It's really dumb. I could get through all the production stuff of this, but it's long, and there was a lot of lawsuits. And anyway, to give you an idea of how successful these films were, the first Friday the 13th had a budget of just $500,000, and it made $60 million. The second film had a budget of just $1.25 million. It made $21 million. The third film had a budget of $2.5 million. It made $36 million. The next film had a budget of $2.6 million. It made $32 million. You see where this is going? The next film had a budget of $2.2 million. It made $21 million. The next budget was $3 million, and they made $19. But you see here how it's trending down. $2.8 million budget, $19 million. $5 million budget, $14 million. Now, these are still huge profits. A $10 million profit is nothing to sneeze at, but it's just getting less and less and less. $3 million budget for Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. $15 million it made. Now, Jason X had a budget of $14 million. It was a large budget, and it only made $16 million. So barely a profit, and once you consider all the other expenses, maybe not even a profit. What's this? That's the international totals. Freddy versus Jason, which came out a year later, had a budget of $30 million, but it did make $116 million due to the fact that you got a whole bunch of Freddy fans and a bunch of Jason fans. Friday the 13th from 2009, $19 million budget, $92 million. So the total, this is, I guess, the figure we're all looking for here. The total budget for all of these movies put together was $80 million, almost $81 million. The total revenue worldwide, $468 million. So it's just a little bit of profit in there. There are a lot of canceled projects. Warner Brothers canceled one in 2009, Paramount in 2017. Victor Miller, who wrote the original Friday the 13th screenplay, had some copyright issues. He claims he owns more than the screenplay. It's a long story. The producer, Sean Cunningham, claims that he was just work for hire, copyright laws involved. Miller won a lawsuit in 2021, so he's probably going to get a lot of money, back pay or whatever. Who knows? LeBron James is involved in some people talking about making another one, and it's not gone anywhere. They're talking about a prequel called Camp Crystal Lake, or just Crystal Lake. As of just last month, Brad Caleb Kane was revealed to be the new showrunner for that series. Brad Caleb Kane is, he's a guy. So there's some potential reboots, but Sean Cunningham has explained that a new Friday the 13th film would not release for at least 3 years. There's a bunch of novelizations of this stuff. I mean a ton. One of them is written by a creepy guy that the show's had experiences with by the name of William Pattison. But he writes under the name of Eric Morse. Boy, is he a Fruit Loop. There have been a number of comic book adaptations. Video games. One of the most popular video games now is, what's it called? The Killing Road or something like that. What's the Road to Hell? 15, Friday the 13th, the game, Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle, But Jason Voorhees is a playable character in Mortal Kombat Mobile, and Multiverses. There was a television series, which, as the Wolf said, was very pervish. There was a mockumentary that was done back in 2009. It's added to some of the deluxe DVD editions of Friday the 13th. Tons of merchandise. I won't even get into it. Oh, can you hear it? Daggone it, I haven't been showing you guys any pictures. There's one. What do you think? That's my favorite Friday the 13th poster. This one's the Friday versus Jason. I'm just going to leave this one up there because he's all proud of himself. Looking good. Looking all good. There's been some documentaries. It was 2009. His name was Jason, 30 years of Friday the 13th. That was on Stars. There's a second documentary that was done in 2013 called Crystal Lake Memories, The Complete History of Friday the 13th. So there you are. That and that's just, I'm telling you, just very general, sweeping, broad. And I will say once again that Friday the 13th has very little, if anything, to do with Friday the 13th. So there you go. By God. Hold on a second. Manzanita Soul. Good golly. All right. So it was Pamela. Betsy Palmer. Betsy Palmer was such a goody two-shoes 1940s and 50s actress. It's funny to see her as the evil, crazy lady gets her head cut off in a horror movie. Uncle Jack says, great. I got a date at Crystal Lake tonight with 2 hot college chicks. Should I cancel? Brought my little white pup tent. Will we be okay? You're going to be fine, Uncle Jack. I would say the quality of hot babes at Camp Crystal Lake, counselors, reasonably good. Reasonably good, I'd say. Not great. Don't get me going that way. Not great. But reasonably good. Talent Schilling says part 2. Part 2. My Bill says 10 was in space. Oh, yes, it was. Yes, it was. I don't know what they're arguing about. Rumple Trenchcoat says Drew Barrymore didn't know the killer in the first movie. Yeah, I know. Tyler Schellenberger says, so in other words, don't do the naughty at the lake unless you want to run in with Jason Voorhees. Well, that's kind of an overall slasher movie, but certainly at Camp Crystal Lake. Part 3, I'm sorry. 2 is the burlap sack. That's right. Wild Bill says, I have a collection of all the masks from the Friday the 13th franchise. That's funny. I do a great and by God, I want someone to acknowledge it. Incidentally, like, share, subscribe, notification bell, retweet, and, that helps it with the algorithm. And we do have super chats, and we do have memberships. Not that you'd know by watching today's show, but we do have those things. And we have not reached our goal yet today. Not even a pittance. Let's see what we got here. Reverend Wild Bill says, my favorite scene has to be the sleeping bag scene. Which one are you talking about? There's a lot of people like the sleeping bag. You tell me what the sleeping bag thing is, because there's two sleeping bags I'm thinking of. But a lot of people also like the guy walking on his hands that gets split in half. Corey Feldman killed Jason with his music. Pretty good. Hey, Lee Law is here. Says, hey, Tom, how's it hanging? How are you doing, sir? Haven't seen you in ages. Nice to see you. Reverend Wild Bill says, Uncle Jack, right? Oh, boy. Here we go. Hello. Got to turn your thing down.
Hello. I can't turn my thing down. It's broken.
We got an echo.
Echo.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I really, Tom, on this one, I don't know why.
Oh, well, so
I have no sound on, no nothing.
there is something you don't know.
Yeah, well, there's quite a few things I don't know. I just don't talk about them.
Yeah.
Don't want to show my ignorance.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about combustion engines. I don't know about rubber band airplanes. But I do know a little bit about Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
But my sleeping bag scene, and I think Tyler Schellenberger also agrees with this one, is when he takes the girl inside the sleeping bag and proceeds wailing the bat out of the tree with it, you know?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's the good one. Yeah, that's a good one. But
yeah,
a
lot of people like that one.
It is. It's really a good one. It really is. And but I tell you what, the franchise, I got to say, that is one of the better franchises. They kind of held together pretty good without going too stupid with it.
Well, yeah,
You know?
I mean, they stuck with what got them there.
Mm-hmm. Jason.
Which was just, well, it's like, how's he going to kill this next person? You know, it's, and they never had big stars in them or anything. You know, they didn't.
No, it wasn't like it was with Halloween.
Didn't have to. You know.
Oh
man, looky there, rumpled trench coat, kind enough to give us $5. Thank you. We shattered our goal tonight. That doesn't mean you can't donate. He says. Thank you, rumpled trench coat. That is very generous of you. But yeah, they didn't need a bunch of stars. They could just have rando starlets and new people and Kevin Bacon and
Now my question is how many people out there knows how many Jasons there was?
Oh, gosh. Well, you'll know. I don't know that I know for sure. I would guess
you could
and
probably
say
hit close, though.
4.
Well, no, we're going to count remakes or no remakes? We said no remakes, right?
Right.
Okay, you got one. I'm also going to count Jason in the Lake, too, okay?
Oh, I don't count that one, but yeah, go ahead and count that one.
Well, we got to count him because he, in number one, he started it. That's who you find out Jason is.
Yeah.
From the first one. So you got to kind of count him. So we'll count him. Harry White. I want to say 5.
Okay.
But that's counting the first. But that's counting the little boy Jason. So you would have been right also.
Right.
Because you weren't counting him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that should be right because there's him, then there's Harry White, there's Kane Hodder, the one before Kane Hodder, and God, I know his name and I can't remember, and I've got his autograph on the mask from number 6. That's the one with the blue chevrons on it. God, I can't remember. Oh, man. And then there's another one. But anyway, I think there's 5 total.
Yeah.
not counting the remakes. If you count the remakes, I think 7. If you count the remakes.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, but I, you talk, one of the corniest, which was kind of a good one also, was Jason X.
I didn't mind Jason X. I mean, Jason X had that one kill.
Yeah.
It so freaked me out that it's.
You talking about where he put her face in that vat of liquid nitrogen and then takes it out and smashes it and turns it into ice cubes?
Yeah,
I loved it.
That's stuck with me. The lovely and talented Karen Garvey says, "Do I need to see Friday the 13th 7 to understand Friday the 13th 8?" I don't think you need to see any of them to understand any of them. And Karen Garvey, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. That's very, very, very nice of you. You're a gentleman and a scholar. But I don't think you need to see any of them to know what the hell's going to happen to the next one, personally.
You just need to know who Jason is. If you know who Jason is, you've got the movies.
Well, and
because none of them really link together. Now, I'll be honest. Now, I take it back. Now, the Jason Takes Manhattan is linked into by the other one because of him being in the water and the cables and all that, and then it leads to that. That's about the only one that kind of links in with the previous one. But other than that, if you just know who Jason Voorhees is, you don't really have to know any of the other ones beforehand to enjoy it, to be honest.
You can, but you don't have to. I mean, the second one technically begins with him killing the girl from the first one.
Mm-hmm. So, and he has a pitchfork in that one.
You didn't necessarily have to know that, but if you did, it's just they're all just people getting mutilated. That's all.
Well, with number 2, you'd want to see number 1 just simply to find out who to Sam Hills is Jason and what was his deal. And that was because of his mom and stuff. So that's kind of a good one. You want to see that to see number 2. But after you leave number 2, all you got to do, like I said, all you got to know is just who is Jason Voorhees. Because his mama's gone. She gets killed in the first one. She kind of loses her head over the whole situation. So, hey, what can you say there? And then, on the second one, he finds he comes in a potato sack for his mask, and he originally starts off with a pitchfork.
Yep.
And then later on doesn't he go to the machete in the second movie? I think he does.
Karen
he finds it.
Karen Garvey says, "I didn't have you." Says to you, "Wow, I didn't have you pegged for Friday the 13th fanatic. Love it. I only saw the first movie, so you should have really pegged him for Friday the 13th fanatic." Randy says, "Part 8. How many are there?" Well, there's like 12. But don't start that, because then it's an argument about remake and Jason X.
Yeah. No, I'm not even counting the remakes. You said we're not counting the remakes. You said we're not counting that. So, is there 12? I thought there was only 11. Is there 12?
That's what this article says.
There is 12. Okay, because after 10, let's see. I know Freddy versus Jason is one after 10.
And then there's the one that's just 2009. It's just called Friday the 13th again.
Okay. Yes, I do remember that. Okay. My bad. Hey, but there again, I've got CRS disease, okay? Can't remember stuff.
Lee Law says, obviously, there's no safe way of keeping Jason away from the general public. No, we haven't found a way to keep Jason away from the general public.
It's easier to keep the general public away from Jason. Just do not go to Crystal Lake.
Well, but he comes to Manhattan. He goes into outer space, The sleeping bag.
Now, the outer space was not his fault. The reason why was he was being taken. He was imprisoned on that thing.
Yes.
And had been adrift out there for hundreds of years.
Right.
And they found it. And they brought it back.
Yeah.
And the cryostasis chamber broke open. When it broke open, Jason came out.
Yeah.
And I did love that cyborg. Oh, God, I loved her.
Tyler Schollenberger says that the sleeping bag into the tree is one of his favorites. And you guys agreed on that. Reverend Wild Bill says, Karen Garvey, I live horror. Yes, he does live horror. He hates Freddy Krueger and Chucky. God, I hate Chucky.
God, I can't stand that. Oh, that little toy. I can't stand it.
It's the least scary horror thing in the world. Tyler Schollenberger says, I'm disappointed New Line screwed Hodder out of the role of Jason in Freddy versus Jason, as he was originally given a script and everything for the role before Kurtzinger was cast in the role. Yeah, they hose those guys all the time. Jason did kill Freddy.
No, he didn't. Oh, well, yeah, he did. Yeah, Jason killed Freddy. Somebody said that he didn't, but he did.
Well, it says, watch the end after the credits, says Tyler. Jason walks out of the lake with Freddy's head, and Freddy winks, indicating he was still alive.
And like I told Tyler, you can't do much without a body.
But those are supernatural entities. It's like science.
No, they're real.
It's science fiction. When like anything, like when Spock died, I'm like, it's science fiction. They'll just bring him back.
No, I'm sorry. This is real.
I'm saying even if it is real, they're not. They've both been regenerated and burned up, and you name it. No problems. The date Friday the 13th had nothing to do with the movie. Closest thing was it came out in the USA on Friday the 13th. We'll see, but I think they mention that it's Friday the 13th in the first movie.
The first movie.
Yeah, in the first movie.
Because that was what it was. Is that was when the camp was, when the kids were supposed to get to the camp. That's when it was supposedly officially to open or something.
Yeah,
they had to do, and it was supposed to open like that next day, but the counselors were there setting everything up.
Right.
And that was on Friday the 13th where they were setting everything up, and that's where everything started happening.
They just sort of mention it. There's no big...
Right. And they just it got so big that they just carried that name along with it throughout the whole series because, I mean, who's going to go to a movie called Jason?
I don't know.
Friday 13 sounds better.
Tyler Schollenberger says, if LeBron has anything to do with a new entry, I'm not watching simply because I can't stand LeBron. Let's see. Head's no good without the body. Okay. Rumple Trenchcoat says they need to stop resurrecting the franchise. And it just needs to do something different with it. Tyler Schollenberger says, yeah, but Freddy can shapeshift and all that other good stuff. They're talking about bringing Evil Dead back with Ash. Yeah, I heard him talking about that, but...
Yeah. He said he's going to do it. He's already said he has said he will do it.
Yeah.
But I think this will be the last, and I'm trying to figure out how they're going to pull this one off because they are trying to lead it off of Army of Darkness.
Well, and he was talking about that, and anyway, he said he had some concerns because he's so much older now and this and that. But anyway, Karen Garvey says, why didn't Freddy just wait until Jason was asleep? Good one. Jason doesn't sleep, says Wild Bill. God, you guys really thought this through. Tom Schollenberger says, I meant the girl from Evil Dead or whatever the new one was called, putting the mommies with the maggots now inscription on the photo she signed for me is one of my favorites. I met the girl from Evil Dead. Right? That's pretty cool, Tyler. Uncle Jack said, I watch a sci-fi stream on YouTube that pits all movie monsters, superheroes, and supervillains against the Predator. Jason versus Predator was pretty cool. So there's a sci-fi stream on YouTube that their only goal is to have things fight Predator. I think that's...
Well, they have it to where they fight different. Like Jason has fought Michael Myers.
Oh, so
it's not
Predator. It's not just against the Predator then.
No, it's all your villains. They'll put different villains against, and it's sort of an AI type thing.
See, I'm not as interested in it now that it's all villains fighting each other. When it was
it's only two at a time. It's only two at a time.
Yeah, but I mean, when it was just things fighting Predator, I was more interested in it because that makes those guys a little crazier. Randy, what is the religious background of Friday the 13th? I don't think there is any religious background of Friday the 13th unless...
it was in the Bible Belt.
Reincarnation, maybe.
in the Bible Belt, and that's about it.
Rumpled Trenchcoat says the TV show suffered from people who don't like Friday the 13th, 13 not watching it, and people who do like Friday the 13th being very disappointed. It had nothing to do with the movies. Yeah, it was kind of like Creep Show or an anthology thing. Reverend Wild Bill says, do that sound again, Tom. It sounded just like the movie. Gave me the goosebumps. Oh, you mean how many days are you streaming, Tom? We're back to 5 a week. Maybe one on the weekend. Yeah. Did you hear the throng of cheering? Anyway, Karen Garvey says, anyone in the chat like Friday the 13th TV series? Haven't seen it. Wolf mentioned it last night. Yes, it's very pervish. The echo went away. That's good. Rumpled Trenchcoat once again gave us the $5, and we appreciate that, as did Karen Garvey. And we appreciate that so much. We appreciate all your contributions, so more than you'll ever know. Tyler Schollenberger says, Kevin Bacon was in the original before he got big. Corey Feldman at one point was semi-big. Palmer was probably the biggest name the franchise had.
No.
Who, Betsy Palmer? Well, maybe. Kevin Bacon.
Kane Hodder got to be the big one, though.
Kevin Bacon's pretty big. Yet Kane Hodder, nobody outside the horror community knows who Kane Hodder is. He's been in other movies too, besides. Yeah, but do more people know Kane Hodder or Kevin Bacon?
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, or Corey Feldman for all the wrong
Corey Feldman? You talking about the the Corey twins? Yeah. Oh yes, I remember the Corey twins. Yes, Boss Boys.
Let's see here. Tyler Schillinger says Ari Warrington, Nash, Kurtzinger, Hodder. I think there's one or two more actors I may be with. C.J. Graham. Tyler Schollenberger says the creepy old guy on the bike, you're doomed, you're all doomed. It was a classic scene in the franchise, too. It really was. And that guy,
C.J. Graham, that's the one I was trying to remember. He was the one that was in 6, the one before Kane Hodder took over. That was C.J. Graham. He's really good.
The correct answer is nobody cares. No, I'm kidding. Let's see here.
They really don't.
That creepy old guy, you're doomed, you're all doomed. Mm-hmm. That guy's outfit, I mean, he was weird enough, but I'm like, where did you get that outfit? It's like a vest and a dress shirt and then a Yogi Bear hat. It's really weird.
That's your typical Appalachian wardrobe.
I guess.
I mean, gee whiz. I mean, that's how we all dress getting ready to go to Sunday school and stuff, on our bicycle.
Karen Garvey says, Rev and Tom's hate for Chucky is strong. You don't even know. I have a deep and abiding hatred for that. Hey, Star Mountain is here. Hey, Star Mountain. Nice to see you.
Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I like Tiffany now out of the Child's Play series. Or Chucky's wife. Tiffany.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like her.
I'm sorry. I may have given you the impression I've watched more than 20 minutes of the Chucky franchise.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so you don't know who Tiffany is. Okay,
I don't know who Tiffany is. I watched.
You would like her. You would like her. You would like. Especially when she turns into a doll. You would like her.
Terry Nee says Jason lives. John Fetterman kills. PA. What? I don't know what that's a. Not too old, says Star Mountain. Let's see here. What did I like about the first check was how the kid was basically framed for the murders. Then it got profoundly stupid. I'm sorry. I see that little Chucky, and I'm like, man, I wouldn't need a firearm. That I can make short work of that little.
Oh, that little sawed-off runt.
Yeah.
The only thing I like about Chucky was the person who played him before he turned into a doll. That was it.
Star Mountain says Bruce is too old. I think they're going to do some age deep fake or that. I don't know. He was talking about the same thing.
Well, Bruce said he was going to do it. He said he wouldn't do no more on the series, but he will do another movie.
Star Mountain says Corey Feldman is the worst guitarist on the planet these days.
Oh, man, he's the worst musician on the planet.
Star, I think you got to throw in lyricist and singer and a lot of other things in there. They're eating dogs. They're eating cats. Kind of they're eating pests. Oops, wrong stream. Yeah. I can't.
Oh, wow.
I don't fault the people who made up that hoax. I fault the people that believe it. It's like Springfield, Ohio. That's the pet eating capital of the world.
I've heard something about that yesterday or today. Is what's going on? Yes.
Karen Garvey says Corey Feldman is the worst guitarist. Who thinks he's the best? There's somebody. It's a political thing, and somebody made a big statement about how they're eating dogs and cats in Springfield, Ohio. Which
isn't it supposed to be immigrants eating dogs and cats?
I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be immigrants up there doing
I don't know. I don't care. It's ludicrous.
Tyler, dog is pretty good.
Yeah, so
I must
take your
admit
word
that.
for
I do
it.
like dog. I don't like cat, though, because there's not much protein in cat.
Take your word for it. Tyler Schoenberg says Jennifer Tilly plays Tiffany, the bride of Chucky, and moving forward later enters. Yeah, see, I've seen that character too, and I also don't like it. Chucky could be defeated by a swift kick. Yes, rumpled trench coat. Chucky, a Swiffer. You could beat the crap out of Chucky. And I used to have a thing for Jennifer.
I would rather have a can of that good old that lacquer hairspray and a Bic lighter. That would set his butt on fire.
Star Mountain, I also used to have a thing for Jennifer Tilly. But not a doll that talks like Jennifer Tilly.
Well, it looks like her, too.
Does it?
Big casabas and all that kind of stuff. Sexy little doll.
Doll casabas? No, thank you.
You ain't seen these casabas.
I've seen it. I don't care. I don't care. It's on a doll. I've seen Jennifer Tilly in real life. Nope.
Now, quick. Can I ask you a question, Tom? Real quick.
Real quick. Chris Abels, the great Chris Abels from Killing with the Abels and from the Replayables, says, good evening, Tom, Gully, and Rev in chat. Jason Fetterman is alive. That's what Terry Nee told me. Don't forget to when you Thank you, Chris Abels, for the donation, the $9.99. I appreciate that.
It's Chris Blanken Abels.
I think Replayables is on tonight, aren't they?
No, that's on Saturday now. They're nothing on Friday anymore.
Oh, for the love of Christ.
Yeah, so it's good you came back on Fridays. But anyway, I was going to say something about the lakes. Do you know the 3 locations that it was filmed at?
One of them's called Lake No-So Be-So or something like that.
Okay, one is at Hard Labor. There's 2 of them down here in Georgia, right close to me. One was at the Boy Scout camp. That was one of the originals when it was first made down at the Boy Scout camp here in Newton County.
Okay, yeah.
And because it was filmed at the Girl Scout section across the lake from the Boy Scouts. It was because their section had done closed down, so they filmed it over there.
Yeah.
Then after that, it went to, I believe it was Hard Labor Creek. It's either Hard Labor Creek or High Falls. Both of those are right here by us. It's one of those 2. And then after that movie, then it went up to Jersey, where Camp Crystal Lake was filmed from that point on, from up there. But that was, we had 2 of them down here, though, back close to where I lived at, that Friday the 13th was filmed at. Yeah.
Okay.
Go back.
All right.
Real quick, I'm going to sign off, sir, and I will talk to you later. It's been fun.
Okay.
I've enjoyed it, and we will talk to you later.
And thanks for filling us in with all the Jason background stuff.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. The invaluable Wild Bill, if you're talking about the Friday the 13th franchise, or probably a lot of horror stuff. A lot of great info. When we started to getting into the actual locations of the campsites, I started to tune out a little bit, but mostly really great stuff. It was either this one or it was this. Yeah, okay, nobody. People saying hi to Chris Abels. Doesn't Jennifer play poker? Jennifer Tilly is a big-time poker player. In fact, her boyfriend is a major poker player. Big-time poker player. She is too. And I would say to those of you talking about how hot a doll is, set Jennifer Tilly next to the doll, and if you can't tell the difference, enjoy the doll. Rumple, people saying hi. No Fridays, people saying hi. People saying hi. People saying hi. Defending against Chucky, release the Roombas. Chris, what time tonight? Trench coat, that is funny. No show tonight. People saying hi. Everybody say good night. Good night, Gracie. People saying hi. People saying hi. What do we got left here? It's about 8 minutes. I don't know if we're doing a member show this weekend. I'm trying to think of what we would do. Because I can't just keep... I don't know how these people keep showing all these reaction videos to movies. And I show public domain stuff. And I'm reacting to it. And I got that one copyright strike from the last time. I appealed it and I won the appeal, but I can't take the chance of being shut down for a week. So I got to figure out something else to do, but I just don't know how these other people get to just react to a whole movie. Sorry, Chris. You clearly said no Fridays. Chris Abel says Jennifer Tilly started playing strip poker when she first started. Hey-o. The night the Roombas took Chucky down and all the bells were ringing. It's all good, dude. It's all good. So, Rico's not on? What am I going to watch after I'm done with this? Well, I'm eating my salad. Well, so I'm eating my salad. Who knows? Let's get this off of here. So there you go. Friday the 13th. Today, of course, is Friday the 13th. I think, what is it? Fear of Friday the 13th is called trichodexophobia or something like that. Julian Zezer says reactors do it because they're not live streaming. They keep uploading / modifying until YouTube's tell them they're okay. Okay. But some of them do it live stream. Oh, no, they don't say live stream. Well, no, I think some of them do it, but they do it behind Patreon or something. I think there is a Rico tonight. I think it's on right now, to be honest with you. It was already on. I don't watch it anymore, but still get notifications. Why don't you watch it anymore, Star Mountain? Watch Child's Play. That movie sucks. Sucks. Watch a Jimmy Stewart movie. Well, you see these people who live and die and buy and sell in this town. Is it too much to ask for them to live and die and buy and sell in 4 decent rooms and a bath? Julian Zezer says they live stream the video that has been pre-recorded and already cleared. Yeah, but some of them do a full movie reaction and then they edit that down and post it and do what you're talking about. But there are places where people do an entire, and there's folks reacting in the chat and everything else. On right now, TSN. Right now on TSN. It's on now. Okay. Because I'm so sick of the Dabbleverse and Stuttering John. I got some of my brain back after backing out. I do agree. There's times to take a break from the Dabbleverse. All right, well, I'm just going to shut down the phone lines if that's the way you guys are going to be. Hey guys, had a great week back every day, 5 days. We're going to keep up with that pace. Certainly appreciate everybody being here. Certainly appreciate Rumpled Trenchcoat and Doopadoo, and better known as Karen Garvey, and Chris Abels for donating to the program. Man, that is so nice. That is so wonderful. People saying hi to Star Mountain, people saying hi to Chris Abels, people telling me what an awesome show this was. I know. Trust me, I know. Thank you, Tom. You rock. Yes, I rock, yet Rob Saul destroys me in number of viewers and super chats. That's a hard thing to sleep with at night, folks. That's a toughie. Then again, I'm probably not willing to do some of the things that Rob's willing to do to get more viewers and more super chats. I could not do that to a dog. Terry Nee has been a member for 5 months. He says, Chris Blanken Abels. And Chris Abels says, FRS, yes. Mr. Chris Abels has been a member for 2 months. And he says, Terry frickin' Nee. Reverend Mabel, no human lives matter. Animal and plant lives do. Hey, you know what? We got Chris frickin' Abels. And I'm not really saying frickin'. I'm saying the really bad word. And we got Terry frickin' Nee. And the only other people that you say that F word is their middle name is Casey frickin' Ryback. He's just a lousy cook. Casey frickin' Ryback. He's the guy that trains the guys that train the guys to kill the guys. Star Mountain has a very well-placed, I should probably know what that's supposed to be, but it's this person going like this, maybe? I don't know. Chris Abels is laughing. Terry Nee, of course, in keeping with our goal of any amount of money, Terry Nee has generously donated $1 to the Tom Gully Show. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it. Terry doesn't donate all at once. He likes to spread it around a little. Anyway, Star Mountain says metal. Star Mountain, you got to check out SonicAsylumRadio.com, SonicAsylumRadio.com, radio partner of the Tom Gully Show, and home of the most amazing metal you'll ever hear. And then tomorrow you can even listen to Metal Maiden Vicky's Metal Euphoria, all 6 hours of it. So, check out SonicAsylumRadio.com. Steve Seagal. Steve Seagal. Cool, I will, thanks. Thanks, Star Mountain. You can also send them your tunes. They'll probably play any tunes you got. Rap with you about it. Very good people. Oh, kids, you know that old clock on the wall says it's time to put away the Tom Gully Show for another week. We'll have more fun and wonderful times for you next week. About that time, that old clock on the wall. Mother, put the coffee pot on. All right. Hey, I'll be thinking of you this weekend, you fine folks. You guys are the best. I mean the best. Hey, you found it. Have a good night, bud. You do the same, Star Mountain. Bill, glad you're back 5 days now. Easier to remember. Yeah. Peace. Have a great weekend, gang. Gang. Hey, you guys have fun. I'll be around. And I guess the only thing left to say, of course, is till next time. We'll see you next time.
They call me Mr. Lucky, and I guess I am. I got a wall of hurt living under my shirt. I don't want